You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was just nuts because that's what people really do, you know. And it's not like halfway brutality the way it is now. You know what I mean? Like in the future, it's like a matter of programming nanotechnology and stuff like that, you know? In other words, it's a whole lot faster and a whole lot less painful and brutal, you know? I don't know. I think there's so many, for the people who, to me, the people who choose to come down this path, you know, that I very much hope for. But I feel like the people who choose to go down the path, their wildest beyond things they can't even imagine are gonna come true for them. Like a fantasy they haven't even had yet is gonna come true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, think of your best fantasy you've ever had, right? Of when it comes to just the way of life and technology and stuff like that. Think of like your most highest fantasy and then take it like 10 more steps and that's what it's going to be like. And for the people who are still influenced or programmed to think that it's all evil and bullshit, you know, all I can do is pity them and offer my help, you know.
Who thinks what's evil?
The shift.
Oh, the shift. I gotcha.
You know, the all-around shift, the Earth shift, the conscience shift, the extraterrestrial shift, all of them. And it's nuts, like, you know, there's definitely still people out there who listen to, like, our radio shows or whatever and just think that we're fucking just out of our minds still, no matter how intelligent we come across. That's why I don't care, Bart. That's why I have the mouth that I do. That's why I say fuck and shit every other minute. Yeah. Because I know they think no matter how I come across, I'm an asshole. And I'm a nutcase. So why not just be myself and say what the fuck I feel when I feel it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember one night I was on, I think, Alienation Sam show or something, and this guy comes on, he's like, some of us shouldn't be here. And I thought to myself, who the fuck is he talking to? You know, and there was only me and two other guys.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? You know? And he was all Mr. fucking, you know, he was practically on Geek Squad.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, man. You know, I don't think I've ever called a kid a geek in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's fucking nuts. You know? And
yeah.
Sometimes it seems like people who, they're held in regard like they're these really smart, intelligent people, and then they turn out, it's just fucked up when you realize that some of them are just fucking assholes with egos. Even though they've, like for example, if you take somebody who was considered a geek in school and they fucking went through 12 years of abuse throughout their whole school life, right? And then they come out of school and they're successful, they went to college and this and that, and then they turn around and become the thing that they hated. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not a big, rough, tough bully, but they go around shitting on people and stepping, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their shortcomings, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. You know? But it's just weird how people, in spite of all that, they still become assholes.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but obese people, right?
Yeah.
You would think that some of them, like, get made fun of and abused so bad that, you know, they would never want to do it to someone else, but then you got the ones who just don't give a shit. it's fucking nuts. And I don't know. I guess the point I'm getting at is sometimes things end up being backwards. Like you think that if there's volcanoes erupting and tidal waves happening, you would think that a bunch of people would be like, "Fuck this! I'm going. I'm getting out of here, and I'm gonna survive this and come back." And and it's the opposite. A bunch of people are like, "Fuck you! We're not going with you. We're staying here." It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody's, well, I mean, what can you say about it?
Hey, man. To me, that at that particular moment is the truest freedom is revealed. And it's a freedom of choice and a free will. At that moment, there is no law, there is no nothing. You have your free will. It's your choice. What are you gonna do?
I'm waiting for it.
And it's just weird how, in other words, people are attached to hate. And what's funny? When I first met the Metamorphosis, he said that a lot. Like, that was one of his biggest things. He goes, you have to, he told me, he must have said it 1,000 times, you have to let go of your attachments. He goes, everything's an attachment. Attached to money, attached to sex, attached to, like, he named every, like...
Beliefs.
Yeah. Because you have to detach, or, I don't know, man. He made sense. No doubt about it. But it's weird because, even though he, even though a lot of things he said to me made sense, I feel like I'm almost in like this addicted state where like cigarettes, for example. I wish I could just detach myself from cigarettes and not want them anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. But
it's hard. And I tried to say that to him, like, it's hard to not be attached to certain things, like, it's tough. And, and then he'd always have, like, the comebacks, like, well, you can't, like, no pain, no gain type things, you know what I'm saying? Like, tough love kind of answers, almost.
Yep.
I don't know. So any more corroboration out there, Bart?
Well, I mean, Operation Terror was a big one. I think the most significant thing that's happened that I found has been the black spheres that you had in your photos. I went out and took pictures and got them in my photos the next day.
It's fucking awesome.
3 of them.
But see, I want some. Like, I want better. I want to, and I want a disc shaped craft, Bart. I want one clear as day, front and center, like right above my goddamn house.
Yeah.
Seriously. And if one landed on my lawn, boy, would I be a happy camper.
Yeah. So that's your declaration.
Indeed. If you guys up there are listening, that's what I want. Let's make it happen. Let's set a date.
Well,
let's make it. Let's see.
I would say just tell them to come when is best. 'Cause I think if you can't set dates.
Well, if I'm sure it would be rough for them to get caught or shot down.
I mean, I don't even know if it's for that. I just think there are other reasons why you can't set specific dates.
Because somebody with equal power might be there?
No, I don't know. I think I mean, I've never heard of dates being set and anything ever come to pass on that date.
Well, yeah, Prophet Yahweh Walala.
Yeah.
He fucking did it. he went out and on a piece of carpet, prayed in front of his house, and poof, the thing appeared. And then he did it again, and then he did it again. I mean, you know.
All right.
He was getting it on demand.
What about tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow...
Is tomorrow good for you, or...
Tomorrow would be great. But tomorrow I'm going to... See, the thing is tomorrow and Sunday, and possibly Monday, I'm going to be home alone with my kids.
Yeah.
Because my wife's got to go to that funeral.
Yeah.
So, it might be rough for me to get outside and actually snap some shots. I can only do that when all my kids are, you know...
In bed?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they're, you know, like sometimes they'll be relaxed and they'll be quiet, playing in one spot or whatever.
Or just drunk.
Yeah. I'm too young for that still.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, mostly my son basically keeps me on my toes. So if he allows me to take pictures, I will.
Yeah.
I don't know what time though. I'll shoot for like 11. Or maybe like 10 in the morning. Yeah, let's go for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's make a date.
Alright, so 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I want a disc shaped craft over my house.
Alright.
Clear as day. No holds barred. No holds barred.
Alright.
You know, I want fucking clear pictures. Talking Billy Meyer quality.
Alright.
Talking zoom, megapixels, the whole bit. I got my video set to fine on my camera.
Yeah.
And I'm on the highest resolution now. But, I mean, just think, Bart. I mean, for 2 or 3 days in a row, I got anomalies in my pictures.
Yep.
And you've gotten them how many times so far?
5 or 6.
It's amazing. See? You know, those are just like baby steps. Now we need the big step with the upfront in our face. I mean, did you see the footage Carrie got?
I did,
I'm still amazed by it, man.
Yeah.
The thing was like 3 feet away from her house. You know? And then, I don't know, man. I don't think she'd make that up. I really don't.
No, she didn't. No, I just, no. No, Carrie didn't make, I think she's totally sincere. I think she's got authentic footage and she's being...
Well, according to some of the messages on her Yahoo group,
yeah,
she's saying that people were calling her a hoaxer.
Because it seems too good to be true, I think.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly. They're saying, oh, it's a plane. It doesn't look like this is crap.
I know, and
I mean, you see the lights going around, it clears, I don't know, man. I thought it was fucking sick. Did you see the latest video I put on my website? The Italian footage? That's like,
I did. I've seen that somewhere else.
Yeah, that's years old, that footage, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I linked up to the story from Paula Harris, that Italian woman. You know, I realized there's a lot of Italian knowledge out there. Like, there's a bunch of Italian websites with UFO stuff, but they're actually in Italian, though. Like, they're not in English.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking plethora of stuff. And my wife, this is actually coming from my wife, because she's part Italian and she speaks Italian. And she was reading some of it for me, and we just couldn't believe how much stuff there was. And she was saying that she was watching some video last night on I forget what channel. She said that they were showing more Italian footage, you know. And then and now that lady that you pointed out to me, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it Paula or Paola?
Maybe it's Paola.
Paola Harris.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she's Italian, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she lives in Italy, and it's just nuts, man. It just seems like. but again, it seems like people are coming out from everywhere, really. You know, I mean, you got guys down in Africa saying you got contact, or they, you know, there's been phenomenons. There seems to be phenomenons everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
like Peru, Brazil, in other words, all over South America, Central America,
Yeah.
the States, Canada,
The
Europe.
world.
Yeah, all over the world. It seems like crazy stuff's happening, you know. But it just seems like I don't know. It seems like it's concentrated more in other areas than others, you know.
Basically, like, not over your house, which is...
Which is what we want.
Yep.
Yo, if not for nothing, if one came that close to my house, I'd want it to just land. I'd be, dude, you know, if you're coming that close, fuck it, just land. You know.
Yeah.
The only reason why I wouldn't want them to land is if they think they'd be in danger. Basically.
Yeah.
And not for nothing. When I think of it, I really don't expect big bulbous head gray aliens to come walking out of it. I expect humans. Seriously. You know, I expect to see human type looking people, like almost astronauts or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or just wearing cool flight suits, you know?
Now, here's a question, and that is that I'm sure that there are plenty of people that have asked for a saucer to fly over their house or to land in their yard, and for people to come out, but nothing's happened.
Well, Carrie said she was on the phone with her friend talking about it. And
yeah.
Proof. So, I just figure, you know, especially if they're time travelers, like, you know, they said it now, so anytime from now here, they got something to go by.
Open invitation?
Yeah. You know, that's like me saying I went to the future and got free robots. You know, I'm saying it now in the year 2007, and they give me free robots when I visit the year like 2200. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are handing them to me like candy, where I actually start saying, no, I don't want it. I give them to like all my family members and stuff.
You know, it's it's impolite to refuse robot gifts.
Well, you're right. They make great gifts for the family, though. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you can re-gift them.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you. You ever see that movie Toy Soldiers?
No.
You gotta see it, man. It's just like that. Except they're more robotic looking. They're not so much like action figure looking things.
Yeah.
You know, they look more like robots, you know, like the movie with Will Smith, what's it called, I, Robot?
Yep.
They look more like that, you know.
Yeah, I would say I'll take a visit too, but I'm like in the heart of
military zone.
Right. This is restricted airspace.
It don't really matter though, Bart. They flew over Washington and shit.
Yeah.
The difference is now though is I believe that technology the going rumor is right now the technology that we don't know about is at least 50 years ahead of what we know today. So if that's true, they really might have, you know, those weapons that can cause damage. But who, of course, is the they, and what is it that they're blocking, and what is the secret that they're keeping? You know? They're the nameless, faceless.
Well, I'll be...
Are they our brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins in the military? Or are they, you know, fucking draconians or you know, what the fuck is it? You know, and I keep getting all these different things about the military complex. Like, I saw I think in the video they showed like a poster. Like, it almost looked like a logo poster you'd see at like a Little League game, where it had like a bunch of logos on one thing, and it showed all the companies that are supposedly a part of the industrial military complex.
Yep.
Like, they showed Dell and IBM and you know, had like 3 or 4 computer companies, and you know, 3 and 4 like aircraft companies, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was I never really looked at it that way, like, you know, because of course they need suppliers, and it's weird. And according to everybody, this company that I never really, I mean, I'm sure I heard of it like in the past on the news and stuff. I never really knew what it was. But that company is called Lockheed Martin.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're supposedly the ones that build all the space type, or they're the ones that have the alien type air vehicles that, you know, they're not quite as advanced as the ones that they recovered, but they're close.
Yeah.
In other words, the reverse engineered craft.
Yeah. I know that companies like Lockheed Martin probably have a branch involved with that sort of stuff.
Right. You know, but the thing is, see, what is their, like, ultimate goal? Are they just puppets being told what to do and doing it and carrying out somebody else's, you know, plan? Or is it just all about making money, and however it comes, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or do they feel like they're doing something benevolent and helping the world?
I would probably have mixed agendas there, you know.
You know, and that's why there's all that secret among secrets. You know, like one group, there's 2 different groups that they don't even know each other exist, but they're working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so complicated. Ridiculous. It's cheesy. It's cheesy. Yeah. You might as well make a cheese puff out of it. Because that's all it is now. I mean, it's corn doggia. I don't know.
Just about Lockheed Martin. There's this famous quote that's always sort of passed or circulated, but it's Ben Rich, former head of Lockheed Skunk Works, said at a UCLA alumni speech in '93, "We already have the means to travel among the stars, but these technologies are locked up in black projects, and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. Anything you can imagine, we already know how to do."
See?
Yeah.
Like teleportation.
There's a movie, like a documentary that David Sereda is, I guess, releasing. It's called From Here to Andromeda, and that's the website, FromHereToAndromeda.com.
Nice.
And there's another quote, or actually another piece of information. Boyd Bushman, a Lockheed Martin senior research scientist, testifies about anti-gravity UFOs, Roswell Wright-Patterson Air Force Base UFOs, and more, and demonstrates anti-gravity in the film.
How do you spell Andromeda?
It's ANDROMEDA. It's From Here to Andromeda.
Yeah, I'm there. Cool. There it is, David Sereda. Wow, it looks familiar. I think I've seen him on other videos, possibly.
Yeah, he's kind of one of the researchers. He's like a freelance researcher, I think.
Cool. Nice.
But I'll say it anyway. If I'm going to be up by 10 tomorrow, so I'll be outside with my camera if something happens at 10.
So am I, man. Well, I'll give myself between 10 and 11 just to be safe.
Me too. You know, I don't know. It'll happen. I think it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. You know.
Yeah.
But if it does happen, that'd be pretty
Well,
cool.
we must exercise patience.
Yeah.
But I'm sure sooner or later shit's gonna hit the fan. But
Yep.
if not for the world, at least for us individually, in our small, for lack of a better term, I guess, clique.
It already has. I mean, those photos for me, the anomalies I've been getting, already tell me that I mean, it's without a doubt that whatever we're seeing in our photos are, I feel like, consciously directed, and they're aware that we're aware of them. You know.
Well, in other words, they're there on purpose. They're there
Yeah.
specifically for us to take pictures of them.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why they're there. They appeared, you know. And to me, a lot of times for them, it's most likely killing several birds with one stone. You know, like they might be here for this particular reason, but they're doing other things on the side, so they're, in other words, accomplishing the multitasking. You know.
Yeah. They're the ultimate multitaskers.
Yeah. Like they got a 10 o'clock appointment at Bart's house.
That's right.
Then a 10:15 or 10:02 at Renato's house, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're going to fly over by Lockheed Martin and laugh at them because they still haven't quite gotten there yet.
But
Personally,
you know,
I don't think they have everything. I really don't. I think they might be advanced and have things that will blow your mind.
yeah.
But I really don't think they have everything.
No, they don't. I think they're far from it.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd blow our minds if we got a tour of everything.
Yeah.
But how likely is that going to happen? The only way we'd get a tour is if we fucking just forced our way in it. If we survived that.
I actually, well, as far as the sighting thing is concerned, I think there's an element of play. You know, you can always, like, you can't forget about that. I mean, I think there's some you know, some levity involved.
Ooh, I don't know.
Like,
You're speaking French now, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, actually, that was a double. Is that a double entendre? I don't know.
Oh, you said, what did you say, a levity?
Yeah, but that. Yeah, I just think there's like humor involved. I think there's some play involved, you know, because you said it's not all business, you know.
No, it's not. It's you know, sometimes you got to make it fun.
I think the idea is that we're undergoing some very profound positive changes, you know, but it's not a dire situation. It's like a celebratory situation.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I do see people like partying in the streets, you know what I'm saying? You know, like celebrating true freedom and not this false freedom we're fucking enslaved in. And what's sick is we live in the freest country on our planet, as far as I can tell anyway. From what I understand, America has more freedom than any other country. But it seems to be kind of fading away. But, you know, if you look at the past and compare us to, like, let's say, you know, like, I don't know, name any country, man, Russia, or Germany, or Brazil, or, you know, Australia, or England, UK, and all that. It seems like there's more. Well, America's always been called the land of opportunity, and it just seems like there's more. See, it's not freedom; it's just opportunity. There's more opportunity here than there is at other places to, you know, become, I guess, quote unquote, comfortable. which personally I haven't really felt too much of that.
No, I mean, I
can't say I grew up in the ghetto and lived a shit a really hard knock life. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can't say I've always felt 100% comfortable with the way things are. I grew up in a not bad neighborhood, but meanwhile, I was this big. It's like a double-edged sword. And meanwhile, I'm Brazilian. And then after fucking 9/11, now I'm a Middle Eastern fucking terrorist. That's how I feel like people look at me now, Bart. Like when I'm walking down the hallways at work and shit. And I don't mean should I say in the building? Like, in my office, everybody knows me and they think I'm a nice guy. I think most people do, But when I see, basically strangers, like, walking in the halls of the building and stuff, especially new people, it's like the first time I see them, it's not like, hey, how you doing? It's more like, oh my God, look at this guy, And then and I've heard people say that guy looks like a terrorist. Like, I've actually heard it,
You have?
like within earshot. Yeah. It fucking pisses me off, man. So, it fucking sucks. The whole hate thing. For me, it almost feels like it doesn't matter whether I'm fucking rich or poor or whatever, that kind of thing is there. That's just another negative staple kind of thing,
Stigma.
Yeah. But I really do think that's going to change. That hate is going to take a really big backseat. And I think that eventually our world, or like I said before, I guess the people who choose that path, that they live beyond their wildest dreams. Like, can you imagine going to the future like 1,000 years from now, or 5,000 years from now? What it would be like? It could be anything. I mean, it could be a roller coaster for which I kind of think it might be. Where there's going to be a time of where everything's just beautiful and peaceful, and then there's going to be a time of shittiness. And right now I think we're getting through the shittiness.
Yeah.
And then I think there's going to be a nice long time of peacefulness, where everything's just beautiful in every way. Like all the things, all the hang-ups of today are going to be gone tomorrow. Like sex, like the sexual energy of the world is going to change. It's not going to be so. In other words, there's not going to be any fear attached to it anymore. Like I've said in the past interviews, the fear of disease and all that shit's going to be gone. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be underrated or overrated. Because I like a lot of people, especially fucking women, say sex is overrated. I really think it all really depends on the individual's, perspective. And I don't know, but that's just one little aspect. I mean, there's a million different awesome things that I think I remember or have visions of, like vacationing and traveling and like all the nice things in life that people hardly get to do, and some people don't get to ever do. those are going to be things there for the taking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not there for the taking in the sense of like a pirate, you know, or something, or like a thief. Just, you know, it's open and free and
they're going to have access to all that.
And accessible, exactly, you know? And like I've said in the past, I think everybody's going to have their place in the world, whether they have like a quote-unquote sort of job or hobby or not, you know what I'm saying? And I also think that robotics are going to play a big, huge part where they're going to become like, you know, there's going to be a big difference between androids and like appliance robots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I mean, just imagine that in the future, there's going to be, you know, imagine instead of having a blow-up doll, imagine having an android. That'd be sick.
I mean, they already have dolls now that look pretty realistic.
Yeah, but I'm talking ones that, you know, you can't tell the difference almost.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell a difference in many ways, but not the main. The main things that you don't want there to be a difference, there is no difference.
Yeah.
As in, like, the way feeling and, you know. Well, anyway, you know. I don't know. I just think that I'm hoping and praying and telepathically freaking communicating that all I really want, I feel like, is I feel like I just want to find that true happiness and comfort, you know. And I'm so easy to please. You know, it's a sick theory I had, Bart. You know how Michael Tazarian says that he thinks that when they talk about Adam and Eve, they're not just talking about one person, Adam, and one person, Eve. He's saying that there was a whole Adam race and a whole Eve race, almost like I was saying in that movie, The Island.
Yeah.
I think that the same goes for the devil. I think that there was an actual, not just one singular devil. I think there's a devil race of people that were sort of built in the sense of like technology and cloning. They were built to be evil and to make life shitty. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's I mean, it's just a theory. I mean, I just kind of, you know, I can't cite like what influenced me to think that besides just plain thought, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what do you think? You think that's far way out
no,
there?
No, I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
You know, like devil could be an acronym for something. Like, I came up with one, I think, like yesterday. Like, devil could stand for draconian, I forget, but you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, you got the D. You got the D.
Draconian, evil, villainous, intelligent life forms.
Okay. It's an interesting idea though, to have a race that's designed for that purpose. I mean, in the more esoteric stuff I'm reading, they're basically saying that, you know, our higher intelligence or souls or whatever you want to call it, oversouls, are basically designing this physical universe for us to just grow, to go through experiences and learn from them, you know. And that, you know, things...
Yeah, like a tough love kind of thing?
Yeah, that, I mean, kind of like that good and bad are actually just illusions, and that they're only one basically intelligence,
Yeah,
that,
it's funny that you say that because that's kind of what the Metamorphosis said too. He said something along the same lines. He tried telling me that there's no good and there's no evil. And I was like, well, what is it then? I forget what his answer is though, because it obviously didn't stick.
I'm kind of getting the sense that that the higher, more sort of our source basically is all. You can't call it good or bad, but it's like it creates these circumstances and our sort of limited, apparently physical reality. So
it
sort of
sounds almost like an almost clutch quote. It's not totally an exact quote. It's an almost quote.
Yeah.
The lyrics are. I'll do the actual lyrics first. The actual lyrics is, he says, everything was everyone and each one was all. And what you're saying sounds along the lines of everything is everyone and each one is all.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
That's the header I have on my site. That's my little catchphrase. Well, it's obvious where I got it from, but hey.
Oh, I see it. All right. I mean, basically, what I'm learning is that this is sort of an illusion. It's sort of like larger aspects of ourselves create these this sort of universe for aspects of itself to sort of learn and grow, and that ultimately, the universe is positive and it's based on compassion and love, and it's just a growing process. It's like a limitless growing process, but
yeah, like the I think it's in the Joshua story. Well, it's in more than, I think I've heard this more than one place, but they say that once that federation or whatever,
yeah,
that the only time they get involved with less advanced or less evolved planets, they said as soon as they can get off the ground and fly in the atmosphere,
yeah,
is when they become involved with that planet.
yeah,
And that's when they're saying that's when they became involved with our planet. As soon as we had the ability to leave the ground,
yeah,
like the Wright brothers or whatever,
yeah.
that's when they stepped in and started doing their little flybys and whatnot.
Except there's been weird stuff. I think there's been stuff going on this planet before that involved more open contact.
Well, like I said earlier, man, like I have strong suspicions that those ancient cities that were just dropped, like they look like they were abandoned.
Yeah.
I really think that those are either extraterrestrials, as in like humans or whatever from other planets that had advanced technology to travel space, or it's like time travelers from Earth that like a whole entire for example what I was saying with the floating cities. Who's to say a floating city of, let's say, like 200,000 or 300,000 people didn't have the ability to put the whole entire ship back in time and just travel to like 6,000 years ago, like I said, to when the planet was empty, and build all that stuff, live there for a couple of 100 years, and move on to the next joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting thought.
And I mean, in the Mars records, they said that they had a time portal that went back 50,000 years. And they said that when they drank the water, swam in the water, that it gave them life. And that it healed their wounds and made them feel refreshed and they'd look younger. Like, basically, they said it was like the fountain of youth.
Yep.
And they said, excuse me. They also said that there was no salt water on Earth back then. That the water was, like spring water or mountain water.
Yeah.
and that there was way less, that there was just one ocean on the Earth. That's with the whole Planet X theory that, well, that's Michael Cesarian's theory that somehow Planet X, like maybe not the one that's approaching us, but another one that they call Tiamat,
Yeah.
was somehow blown up or exploded near us, and all its debris rained on the Earth and created the ocean. You know, because they said it was mostly a water planet.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if this still holds true or not, but I remember once somebody told me that they know more about space right now than they do about the bottom of the ocean. I wonder if that's still true.
It could be.
Because if that is true, then it makes that much more sense of why a lot of UFO craft, a lot of sightings happen out in the middle of the ocean where they're nowhere near land. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen whole, like, if you look it up in like Google Pictures or Yahoo Pictures,
Yep.
I've definitely seen people's, like, drawings mostly. I've never seen pictures, but I've seen drawings of people showing, like, UFOs blasting out of the water. You know, like heading up into the sky.
Yeah.
Where you can see, like, the splash coming out of the water and the UFO above the water, like it just shot out of it, you know what I mean? And, I mean, think about it. If that thing can fly in space, then you bet your ass it's going to do just fine under the water, you know? And for all we know, there's a bubble city on the bottom of the ocean somewhere. Or it's basically just entrances to inner Earth. You know, instead of flying into the side of a mountain with a cave, they could just, you know, fly down into the bottom of the ocean and go to a cave there, where, you know what I'm saying, it's much more well hidden.
Yeah.
And that's why it's all about the coordinates. Yeah, that's one thing. Let me tell you, if I did any of the stuff I say I think I did, one thing's for sure is, I remember there being slang, instead of people saying coordinates, they'd say, give me the chords. You know, like, it was weird because I thought of it as music, because basically the thought I have in my head is me being confused whether they're talking about coordinates or chords to play guitar. And you know, what's another thing? It might be a fantasy, but if it is, it's something I'd like to see as reality. But I think they're gonna make a Guitar Hero that's really, you know, you know the game Guitar Hero?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think they're gonna make one that's like you really play guitar. Like you're not just pressing buttons. You have an actual guitar in your hand. You know.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna do it for everything: for drums and bass, piano.
I'd get it for guitar and piano.
Definitely. But I can see, like, I'm pretty sure it's a fantasy. Mm-hmm. But I can picture it so clearly being reality. You know what I mean? In other words, it's something I can see happening as like a sideshow type thing at the concert.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yep, we have a date. I know where you'll be. Well, I know where you'll be at 10.
Either sleeping or outside in my backyard.
Yeah. I'll definitely be in my backyard.
I think I'll most likely be.
I mean, you can't set a date like that and then just sleep in.
Well, it's hard enough getting up every day at 6:30. So on Saturday, I don't want to hear any alarms.
All right, well.
But I'll probably have my wife waking me up anyway because she's got lots of stuff to do.
Yeah. You can move the time up.
Yeah. Yeah, we can time travel. There's always time travel.
I'm saying you can change the drop-by time to noon.
Well, nah, I want to do it early. I want to have my pictures and video posted by noon.
Alright, I hope something happens, so I'll say 10 o'clock I'll be out there, but...
Alright. You know what? I'm gonna say, go to the future, find out what time I was out there, and come back to that time. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Same here then.
If I wake up tomorrow at 10:30, go to the future and find out what time I woke up, and then come at that time. And then it'll be like as if it wasn't skipped. Well, but listen, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm toasted.
Sounds good.
I'm over here with the munchies, and I think I'm ready to hit the sack.
Alright, well,
I'm tired, old man.
Yeah.
For all I know, I'm like 80 years old. And I reverse aged.
I know you look pretty fit for 80, though.
Yeah.
You look pretty good for 80.
And
you could only hope for a wife that looks like Vanessa when you're 80. And you're pretty, you're still pretty active for 80.
Yeah. For some reason I'm suspicious it's more like 60, between 60 and 70.
Yeah.
But technically I'm 33.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Win52, who we haven't written to in a while.
Yeah, man. I wish you would. Excuse me, man. I'm sorry. I just want to say I wish you health, Win52, man. I hope that all that medical crap doesn't have its claws sunk in you.
Yep. And that he gets to see all this come to pass with the rest of us.
Oh, he will. I feel very confident that he will.
Yeah.
And even if he dies, he will be brought back to life.
Well, you better ask him first.
Yeah. He's got to. Yeah, make sure you address that on the message board.
Yeah.
Tell him to give his answer.
Or he can you me too.
Just say, Win52, if you happen to die from your illnesses, do you want to be brought back to life, or do you want to remain on the other side? Seriously, ask him, bro.
Alright, I mean, by the time, stuff comes to pass, I mean, we might have a direct communication link to the other side too,
Well, I'm pretty sure, I feel almost certain that that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, it's almost like that movie, I forget what it's called, but it's when the little kid says, I see dead people or whatever.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Exactly, our sixth sense comes alive. But I feel like it's like all 5 of our senses reach the next level. It's not our sixth sense, it's more like right now we have a first sense in our eyeballs. Now we're going to reach the second sense of our eyeballs, the second dimension, I guess, Same thing with our ears and our feeling and our touch. As well as, and our instincts, our visions, our intellect. I think everything's going to get to the next level.
Alright.
And if not, it's a damn good hope or dream or fantasy or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
At least I like to think it is anyway.
It's gonna get there. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no doubt in my mind at this point.
Well, I mean, we found some pretty fantastic corroboration, I must say.
Yeah.
I mean, just that thing tonight with the Terra, whatever it's called. What was it called?
Operation Terra.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit.
Yeah. And actually,
when you first read it, I was like,
yeah.
It's just some typical thing. And then as soon as you like, yeah, the UFOs are gonna flood the sky and our brothers and sisters, I was like, holy shit. You know?
Yeah, you gotta read the articles and the messages there.
It's fucking sick, man. It's corroboration all over. Like I said, man, if anything's coming true, it's like every other session we have, man. It's like as if we find something else that just to add to the pile.
Yeah.
You know?
I think our personal evidence is going to be a huge...
and like I said, I mean, if Dr. Stephen Greer and all his associates came out on Disclosure Project, and they can all prove that they did work for the government, why the fuck should I doubt them and think that they're lying?
Yeah.
Why? Because President Bush didn't give them their blessing and say, yes, this is true?
Yeah.
I don't need their blessing. I think I'm convinced. I think, in other words, I'm taking their word for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Totally. I'm taking their word for it, absolutely. I believe what they're saying is true. And they all said they were willing to testify in front of Congress. That is good enough for me.
Yeah.
You know, so as far as I'm concerned, it is true. And it's just a matter of time. And, you know, if you don't like it, tough nuggies. And say it to my face, punk. Or bitch.
And be prepared.
Yep. That's the main message. Should we recite it? Should I recite
it? You can.
Be prepared, people.
Yeah.
Be mentally prepared for the next reality. For the world to change. The world change is known as the shift. And be prepared for that shift, which is a world change in every way. In conscience, in appearance, the whole bit. Senses.
Governments, systems.
Be prepared. And be prepared for something positive, not something negative. The only people who are going to think it's negative are the people who feel like they have something to lose, like their mansions and yachts and sports cars and money. Those are the people who are going to care. Those are the people who feel threatened by the whole thing. And meanwhile, they're miserable even though they're rich. So, go figure on that one. Because rich people get lonely, man. They say it's lonely at the top, right?
The people in power.
Right? Is lonely at the top is the saying? Is that how the saying goes?
Yep.
So what the fuck? If it's lonely at the top, why don't you bring yourself to the
Down
middle,
here.
to the middle, to the medium, to the in-between. That it's not a tightrope, it's more like a bridge. But anyway, that's the message. Be prepared for the next reality, my friends, my brothers and sisters of Earth. Be prepared. Bart's prepared.
I'm prepared.
Bart is prepared.
I'm prepared.
He's probably more prepared than I am.
I'm ready. So I'm ready for 10 a.m. tomorrow. If not 10 a.m., then
the next time.
The soonest possible occasion.
Yeah, or the right time.
The right time, yeah, that's good. which is soon.
I think so. I'm hoping so. You know, I mean, 2007's already halfway through.
Yep, we're almost in 2008.
And before we know it, it's going to be 2008. And for me, I don't know, man. That the number that keeps popping up in my brain. But I could be off here. stretch on to 2009. But if anything doesn't happen by 2009, I think I'm going to be upset.
But not too upset because you know something's going to happen still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gave myself the 2012 window, but 2012 is so far away.
Yeah. I mean, stuff's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you know, that Operation Terror site, one of the things that the people said that were apparently sending messages through the site author was that they were going to sort of step back now and sort of let us fully enjoy the changes that were going on. That was their comment, one of their comments.
Right. But is it really an enjoyment for everyone?
I think it's a matter of a full appreciation of what's going on.
Appreciation sounds more,
yeah,
I guess, viable than enjoyment.
But I mean, there are plenty of predictions for this year, especially for around the time of November, December. So we'll just have to, I mean, just you know, be patient, right? That's the other message. Be prepared and be patient.
Yeah. And it's funny that it's in November, December, and I'm a Scorpio. My birthday's in November.
Yeah.
And they say that the time, I forget, but they're saying, like, as far as tarot cards and all that it's Scorpio time somehow. I forget.
Yeah.
Something with Pluto. They're saying Pluto's gonna line up, and Pluto is Scorpio's god or something to that effect, or the constellation. I don't know. I forget. I don't know, whatever.
Alright, well, we'll see what happens.
What is it, though? Is it going to be something obvious, or is it going to be something that's sort of that we have to read between the lines? In
November?
Yeah.
There were a couple things. I mean, a couple of the predictions were kind of like, I don't know, sort of dealing with numerology and the time frame. I think there might be something with the Mayan calendar with like it turning into the fifth night or something like that. Where actually there's a guy that has a video on YouTube or Google video that he's looking at the Mayan calendar, and he says that during the nights, the Mayan nights, that it's actually like there's a pause as we shift gears, and then when the day rolls around again, we just move forward again. So it's not like a step back. But anyway, and on ATS there was also that, or on Coast to Coast AM, there was that, it's the time of the snake or whatever it was. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
There was a person who Coast to Coast posted this one brief article, and it was a person saying that November is going to be the time of the serpent, I think. And it was like
the serpent?
Yeah, it was 11/11. It says, this November 2007 will be remembered as the beginning of the serpent time, but not because of Satan or the devil. It has nothing to do with the Judeo-Christian struggles with the Muslim world or the dark works of communism versus democracy. A new unknown order will reveal itself, and it shall tear us under the new world. It should tear us under the new world order. The light work begins anew. The timeline is about to unravel, for the shift is coming. There's no book to sell, no guest host to interview, no other actions to take. Just remember this November and be vigilant for a powerful shift towards the light. And if you go to coasttocoastam.com and you look at you click on the images section, more images, it's, let's see, it's just toward the top of that list. It's 11/11 Serpent Time.
And George Norrie's got his own show now on Science Channel.
I heard about that, yeah.
I saw it last night. He had Nick Nolte on there. And Nick Nolte is obviously a UFO fan, which is pretty well.
Alright, that's pretty cool.
Now, what did you say was in the picture section?
It was on ATS, it was Bridas, B-R-I-D-A-S, who originally posted about that serpent, Wolf in Flames, that serpent time. article on Coast to Coast, and said that he signed up for the newsletter, and people who sign up for the newsletter by I guess emailing Wolf and Flames will get updates on these things. And I think another part was that Wolf and Flames had made 3 predictions. I'm thinking this is the same one. One of them was an earthquake in California, which is, you know, the other one was a mining accident in Russia.
Half the world can predict that there's going to be an earthquake.
I know. All right. Well,
he means the big one where the ocean finally covers it?
No, just an earthquake. And the second prediction was a mining accident in Russia, which I guess occurred. And the third prediction is a member of the royal family dies.
Well, a member of the royal family did die. That was Princess Diana.
Well, I mean, will die.
Oh, as in, like, the kid? Or the mom?
Somebody.
The queen?
Somebody. They didn't specify.
Wow.
If you email them, maybe they'll share.
Well, I don't know. Right now, for some reason, I only feel partial towards Diana and the kid.
Yeah.
For some reason, the other ones I don't really feel anything for. You know, like Charles. What the hell does he do? He was accomplished being an officer in the Royal Army or something like.
I don't know.
What did he do?
I don't know. Like,
See? You
I don't
even know
does.
his story. Nobody knows his story. He's unfortunately not so significant.
All right. Well, I say we ended on that note.
Sounds good.
Which really wasn't any.
I really like this blue people picture on Coast to Coast.
Yeah. Oh, right.
The Kentucky Blue People. They're from Inner Earth. No, I'm just kidding. Well, who knows, but... Alright, Bart, man. It was great talking to you, brother.
You too.
And by the way, I did do some drawings for my bicycle invention.
Yeah.
I just haven't... I don't know. I just don't like them. I don't,
Right.
You know, I draw them freehand, and I mean, I can get the idea across, but I still feel like I could do better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try actually taking sort of like, I don't know, I'm going to try and incorporate real pictures together. Like pictures of real, you know, like actual like photographs, and take other photographs, and like, I don't know, I got a couple ideas that'll maybe put the idea across more clearer.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just wanted to give you an update on that real quick before I forgot.
All right. So I'm gonna look outside. I'm gonna be outside tomorrow at 10.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I will be too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll send you anything that I get.
Cool. Well.
And.
Well, now that I know where my camera is, I'm definitely taking pictures tomorrow of the sky, no matter what. I can't give an exact time right now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for between 10 and 11.
All right.
All right.
Well, you have a good night.
You too, bro.
And
I will talk to you soon. I will email you many times between now and the next time I talk to you.
All right. All right. Sounds good.
All right, man. Have a great night and have a great weekend, brother.
Yeah, and to everybody out there, hey, peace.
Yes, and I'm going to post this in the morning.
Okay.
All right, man. Have a great night.
All right, rock on, man. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, brother. Peace.
All right. See ya.